Hello, good day, ladies and gentlemen. This is your mentor, Harrison Evalais. And for today, I will be going to discuss the introductory part of our module. So, let me start by this statement. In all modern societies, the enforcement of the law is vital. Without some type of law enforcement, a society would eventually cease to exist. The function called law enforcement is a society's formal attempt to obtain compliance with the established rules, regulations, and laws of the society. Without law enforcement, society as we know would probably succumb to social disorder and chaos. So basically, the absence of the law enforcement will causes disorder or chaos to our society. So that is how important a law enforcement is. Without the law enforcement, the possibility of crimes can occur anywhere within the society. That is why laws were established and rules was established, and these laws and rules are being enforced by our law enforcer. That is why they called law enforcer, because they are the one who enforce the law, and the ultimate purpose of the law or rules are to maintain order or peace and order within the society. So enough from such introduction. Let me proceed to the term police or the definition of terms of our module. So what is a police? Etymologically, the term police was originated from the Greek word politeia, meaning it is a government of a city. However, when the Romans conquered the Greek, they changes the term politeia and shorten it to politia. The same meaning also. And when the French has noticed such a term, they adapted and make it as police, or they changes politia to police. And from the French, English and Americans borrowed the term police, which was coined by the French, and the English and American borrowed such term, and they make it become more famous until it reached here in the Philippines. The Philippines changes the English word police to police. So that is the etymological um, origin of the term police. Now, let us proceed to the definition of police. So, a police is the agency of a community or government that is responsible for enforcing the law, maintaining public order, and preventing and detecting crimes. So, basically, the police enforce the law, and when a crime was committed, they are the one who will conduct an investigation and put the person responsible in court or in prison. Furthermore, police refers to the act of maintaining discipline or ensuring that the rules must be observed. So, as I said a while ago, the police enforce the law, the rules. So, what is a law? Law is a rules of conduct. It is a rules of conduct, just and obligatory, made by those competent authority for common observance and benefits. That is what the police is being enforcing, the law. Without a law, there is no peace and order, because the law is the ultimate rule of the land, which requires every citizen of a place to abide with the law. However, the law is useless without enforcer, and that is the role of the police. So that is the relationship of the police and the law. That's why we call them law enforcement, because they enforce the law. So that is all about police and the law. Now let us proceed to the definition of organization. So what is an organization? Organization is a group of people who work together in an organized way for a shared purpose. So basically, there are objectives and vision, mission. That is why every organization has their own vision and mission as well as their objectives in order that all the branches of such organization has a common goal. They are working together towards the attainment of a common goal or a common objectives. So that is why, example, the University of the Cordilleras, we have our institutionalized vision and mission. Aside or goals and objectives, we have our institutionalized goals and objectives aside from our objectives that was established in our department. We cannot, in our department, we cannot go outside the vision and mission of UC. We shall, the vision and mission of the College of Criminal Justice Education in the University of Cordillera shall align with the vision and mission of the University of the Cordillera. As including other department, they should also align their vision and mission to the vision and mission of the University of the Cordilleras because we are in an organization. We are working together to achieve a common goal. And what is that common goal? Of course, to maintain excellence in education and maintain being the top performing school among criminologists and among other degrees that was being provided by the university. So that is an organization. Now let us proceed to administration. What is an administration? Administration is the determination of objectives and major policies of an organization. So in administration, they will determine the objectives and major policies of an organization, and it will implement, or it refers to the implementation of the policies and objectives of an organization. Our vision and mission, or our objectives and policies, is useless without administration. That is why in every organization they are the so-called admin staff, because they are the one who will conduct the administration of an organization, or they are the one who will determine the objectives and policies of an organization and implement such policies. So enough from administration. Let us proceed to police administration. What is an police administration, class? The police administration is an organizational process concerned with the implementation of the objectives and plans and internal operating efficiency of the police organization. So basically, as I said a while ago, police organization refers to the implementation of the objectives and plans. Sabi ko nga kanina, kaya nga may tinatawag na regional director for administration sa mga pulis. Sila yung nangangasiwa sa administrative policies ng Philippine National Police Organization. So yun po yung role ng kaya't may tinatawag na Regional Director for Administration, Regional Director for Operation, separate po sila. Iba yung administration kasi more on inside policies and objectives yung tinututukan nila. Tinitignan nila kung yung mga programs ng different branches ng or units ng PNP naka-inlined sa pinaka-objectives ng Philippine National Police as an organization or as a whole. So, police administration is also, or otherwise known as, police in action. The cooperative human effort to achieve the purpose of the criminal justice system. So what is the purpose of criminal justice system? The purpose of criminal justice system is to control and prevent crime. We cannot actually eliminate crime. It is impossible to eliminate the crime. What can the criminal justice system only do is to control and prevent crime. Because it is very, sabi ko nga, imposible naman na matatanggal ang crime kasi crime is an essential element of a society. Nandyan lang siya sa social, kahit anong gawin natin, nandyan at nandyan pa rin siya. Hindi yan matatanggal. So, the police will act to enforce the goal of the criminal justice system. So, yun yung tinatawag nating police in action. So, let us now proceed to the police organization. What is a police organization, class? A police organization is a structured group of highly trained personnel dealt with achieving their goals and objectives. Yun nga. In an organization, it is not proper that other branches of an organization has their own objectives which is not in line with the objectives of the organization as a whole. Yun nga eh. Kaya hindi naman natin pwedeng sabihin na yung Special Action Force or Highway Patrol Group, naiiba sila ng objectives or goals sa PNP. Hindi po pwedeng ganun. Ang mangyayari is, parang nagiging separate organization sila kung ganun. So yun po yung tawag dito, yun po yung purpose kung bakit tinawag na police organization ang Philippine National Police, because all their units and branches has a common goal. And what is that common goal? Of course, to maintain peace and order. I will discuss it later on, all the goals of the police organization. So, sabi ko nga, hindi naman pwedeng sasabihin ng SAF na ay ayaw naming sumunod dyan. Kasi anti-terrorist kami. Gusto naming mag-focus sa terrorist lang. Ayaw naming mag-enforce ng law sa mga civilian. Or ayaw naming pumunta sa urbanized place para mag-traffic lang. Hindi naman pwedeng ganun kasi iisang organization sila. Kaya kung makikita nyo naman isa, kahit SAF or kahit anong unit na police ay pinag-traffic pa rin kapag kailangan sila. So remember that, class. Hindi pwedeng maiba yung goal ng other units ng PNP sa kanilang main goal as an organization or as a whole. Okay? So enough from police organization. Let us proceed to the difference of goals and objectives. Ano ba ang pagkakaiba ng goals at objectives? Sometimes kasi napagpapalit ng ibang estudyante yung term na goals and objectives. If we say goal, it is a desired result you want to achieve and is typically broad and long term. So, it refers to the desired result. So, ano ba ang desired result ng UC or ng criminology sana, or sabihin na natin UC? Their desired result is to maintain their standard as one of the top performing school among the different school in the Philippines. So yan yung desired result nila, kaya ginagawa nila lahat ng objectives, vision and mission, lahat ng programs ng ginagawa ng universities of the Cordillera is to maintain the excellency towards the future order, and that is their desired result, to maintain being an excellent school. Usually, a goal is long term. Siyempre, hindi naman basta-bastang ngayon gagawin mo yung tawag dito, goal mo, and then bukas ma-achieve mo na. Kayo, hindi nyo naman pwedeng sabihin na mag-aral kayo ngayon tapos bukas graduate na kayo. So ganun po yung ibig sabihin ng goal. Whereas if we say objective, it defines the specific measurable actions. So ito naman sa objectives, ito yung mga paraan na gagawin mo, or this is the actions you will do in order for you to attain your goal. For example, in order for you to become a police officer, if your goal is to become a police officer, you will or you shall enroll in any course, because I can say that in any course, because any course or any degree, I'm sorry, it is not course, any degree can become or any degree is accepted in the police organization. So you need to study, because your goal is to become a police officer, you need to take a degree. So you shall endeavor to study, or you shall persevere in your study in order to achieve your desired goal. and your act of studying is your objectives, because it is your way in order for you to attain your goal. That is the objectives, or the measurable actions to attain your desired result or goal. So I hope that you were able to distinguish goals and objectives. Now let us proceed to the next topic. Of course, here is the goals of the police organization. As I said a while ago, now I will discuss it. So the first goal of the police organization is to protect lives and properties. Yun nga yung sinasabi ko. This is the basic goals of the university. I'm sorry, of the police organization, to protect lives and property. And that is the very reason why police is existing. Without police or without law enforcement, the protection of lives and property is impossible to attain. So that is their first goal. Their second goal is to ensure public safety. Of course, they are the one who will maintain peace and order and ensure public safety towards the attainment of a healthy society or peaceful society. Lastly, then the goal of a police organization is to maintain peace and order. Of course, maintaining peace and order um, will decrease the existence of crime, or will decrease the possibility of being victimized. So that is the three broad goals of police organization. Remember it, class. Now let us proceed to the objectives of a police organization. So first, the objective of police organization is to attain effectiveness in the enforcement of law and efficiency of law enforcers. So yun nga, kaya meron silang tinatawag na trainings, because training makes things perfect. Kaya nga, hindi lang sila nagfo-focus sa training na binibigay ng PNP or binibigay ng police organization. They are also having their linkages, or what do you call this? Interagency training. They are collaborating with other agencies, not only local agencies. They are also collaborating with other law enforcement from other country in order for them to improve what they know. If there is something that they do not know and known by other country, they are trying to adapt it, or they are trying to train in order to adapt such new ideas or knowledges. Second, their objective is to attain a low crime volume and crime rate. Of course, like what I say, the CJS, or the criminal justice system, is a machinery used by the government to maintain peace, and or machinery used by the government to control and prevent crime. That is also the objective of the police organization. They wanted to lower the crime rate or crime volume of the society or of a country. Because sabi ko nga, we cannot actually eliminate crime. It is impossible to eliminate crime. There is no country wherein zero rate of crime. So that is their objective, to maintain low crime volume. Third, their objective is to attain a maximum degree of solution and criminal conviction of law violator. To attain a maximum degree of solution and criminal conviction of law violator. So they are the one who, because that is their objective, because they are the one they are the first pillar of the criminal justice system, meaning they are the prime mover of the criminal justice system. They are the one who have a direct contact towards the crime violator or offender. Because of the police, a file was filed against the offender. Without police or without law enforcement, no one will conduct the investigation. That is why their objective is to attain maximum degree of solution and criminal conviction. Not only to convict or put an offender in prison, they are also attaining or their objective also is to attain the maximum degree of solution. What is that solution? Of course, their solution is to prevent crime or to maintain peace and order. That is their third objective. And the last objective is to attain maximum degree in the protection of lives and properties. So I already discussed such a statement a while ago. Now let us proceed to the evolution of policing in the international setting. Let us start by discussing Anglo-Saxon or ancient England period. So in the Anglo-Saxon, there are different types of policing system that was practiced by the early human being. So we have the Tanis policing system. So the Tanis policing system was introduced by King Alfred the Great. So it was King Alfred the Great who introduced Tanis policing system, and this policing system is a type of internal policies or internal police force where landowners throughout the kingdom were responsible to police their own territory. So security is not only a group of persons concerned. Parang yun yung parang ibig sabihin nun. Kaya ang ginawa ni King Alfred the Great, binigyan niya ng karapatan yung mga landowners na mag-conduct ng arrest or arestuhin kung sino man yung lumabag sa rules ng or lumabag sa batas ng tawag dito, lumabas na sa kingdom rule ni King Alfred that time. Hinayaan na yung mga citizen ay may karapatang mang-aresto at bring the person of the accused before the king. So yun po, may karapatan yung tawag dito yung landowners sa policing system na ito. Dito nag-originate yung tinatawag nilang protection of property or kung may tinatawag tayong self-defense, we also have the term defense of a property. So yun yung concept nitong Tanis policing system. As a person, you have a right, or as a law-abiding citizen, you have the whole right to defend your property, your land property, or defend yourself. So yun po yung concept ni Tanis policing system natin. And dito naman sa second naman ay yung tinatawag na Frank Pledge policing system. So ano naman yung concept ng ating Frank Pledge policing system? This policing system was carried out under a system of mutual pledge. Every male over 12 years old joined 9 of his neighbors to form tithing men. So basically, every male over 12 years old will take a pledge, and in that pledge they promise to protect their place, or they are the one who will protect their place as they take pledge or as they promised. Furthermore, said tithing men performed police works, and anyone who failed to join and perform this duty was severely fined. So kapag ikaw over 12 years old ka in that place, tapos hindi ka sumama sa pagiging isang tithingman, ma-fine ka daw. Severely. Yun yung sinasabi dyan. Furthermore also, policing responsibility lies on the hands of the citizen. Yun nga yung sinasabi ko. And this citizen or this this citizen has the police responsibility is the non-tithing men. So remember, every male over 12 years old joined 9 of his neighbors to form a tithing men. Huwag po kayong malilito dyan. 10 sila, hindi sila siyam na tithing men. 10 tithing men po yung tinutukoy dyan. Okay? So enough from Tanis policing system and Frank Pledge policing system. Let us now proceed to the next topic. We have the Tan policing system. So Tan policing system required all male residents to guard the town. to preserve peace and order, protect the life and property of the people, and suppress other factors affecting peace and order. So, yun nga, kung sino daw yung mga nagiging police sa TAN policing system, every male residents. So, walang sinabing taon dyan. Every male resident. So, meaning, mapabata ka man o matanda, you are required to protect to protect the life and property of the people. So, yun yung concept ng TAN policing system. Another importance or another thing that you should remember is the TAN policing system was the forerunner of the word town. TAN meaning is town. So, TAN is the forerunner of the word town. Remember that class because later on if you will or after graduating, you will take the board examination. Sometimes they are asking that questions like those terms. What is the forerunner of the word TAN? Tatanungin nila sa inyo. Kaya remember that the forerunner of the word town is TAN. I'm sorry, mali pala yung sinabi ko. What is the forerunner of the word town? It is the TAN, and it was from TAN policing system. So remember that class, huwag niyong kalimutan. Now let us proceed to the next policing system known as the hue and cry policing system. Complainant or victim will go to the middle of the community and shout to call all male residents to assemble. Once heard, male residents will automatically assemble to go after the criminal and apprehend him. So yun, kapag ikaw daw ay na biktima, pumunta ka sa gitna ng community at sumigaw ka ng tulong. Pag narinig ng lahat ng lalaking residente yung sigaw mo na humihingi ng tulong, sila na agad yung hahabol sa criminal or offender. Pinapractice pa rin ba yan ngayon? Sa tingin ko, oo. Kasi kapag may sumigaw naman sa kalsada ng tulong, may mga tutulong naman na lalaki. Siyempre, lalaki tayo eh. Kailangan nating tulungan. So, yun yung parang hue and cry policing system. Pupunta ka lang sa center ng community and sisigaw at hihingi ng tulong. And then, as a male, it is your responsibility to go and run before the criminal or capture the violator. So that is the concept of hue and cry basically. Now let us proceed to the royal judge system. So what is the royal judge system? The royal judge conducts criminal investigation and gives appropriate punishment for the crime committed. It started the identification of criminals. So the royal judge system, those who are assigned as a royal judge will be the person who will conduct the investigation and also give appropriate punishment for the crime committed. So, parang pinag-combine yung trabaho ng law enforcement. Sa criminal justice system kasi natin, meron silang 5 pillars eh. Merong tinatawag na law enforcement. Sa law enforcement, sila yung magkakandak ng investigation, kaya sila yung tinatawag na prime mover or sila yung prime mover of the criminal justice system. So, at meron din yung prosecutor. Yung prosecutor, siya yung magfa-file ng case based sa investigation ng law enforcement. Ang prosecutor, ifa-file niya sa court. And then, the duty of the court is to inflict punishment towards the violator. So, parang ang trabaho ng royal judge system na yun, pinag-combine niya yung 3 pillars of the CJS natin dito na the royal judge will act as a police investigator, at the same time a prosecutor, at the same time a judge. And also, pang-apat is he also serve as a correctional officer kasi nga i-penalize niya yung ating violator. So yun po yung concept ng royal judge system natin. And one thing to remember, I said a while ago that the royal judge system is the one that started the identification of criminals. Sila yung nag-initiate or the forerunner or the tinatawag nating mga pasimuno kung bakit may tinatawag tayong identification of criminals today. So yun po class remember that term. Royal Judge System started the identification of criminals. So enough from that. Let us proceed to trial by ordeal. So what is the concept of trial by ordeal? Trial by ordeal, I'm sorry, medyo nabubulol na ako, requires a suspect to put his hands over boiling water or required to perform any other act which may hurt him. If he was hurt, the society considered him guilty. Otherwise, he was not considered guilty. This was in accordance with the belief by the people before that God will protect innocent one from being hurt. So yun yung concept ng trial by ordeal natin. So ang mangyayari daw sa criminal, kapag ikaw yung taong gumawa ng crime, they will require you, or if you are the suspect, they will require you to put your hands in a boiling water. Imagine, ito yung kumukulong tawag dito, jar siguro. Lagay mo yung kamay mo sa kumukulong tubig, tapos kapag nasaktan ka daw, guilty ka. Pero kapag hindi ka nasaktan, kasi may paniniwala yung mga tao na kung hindi mo ginawa yung krimen, hindi ka pababayaan ng Panginoon. So kapag nasaktan ka daw, guilty ka. Pero kapag hindi ka nasaktan, you are not guilty. So sino naman tao yung hindi masasaktan talaga dun? So yun yung concept ng trial by ordeal. Parang it is uncivilized way of proving the guilt of a person. So that's all for my discussion today, and wait for my further pre-recorded video because I will try to do another video for you to have something to watch and learn. So stay put, and thank you very much if you listen to my pre-recorded video, and I hope that you have learned something from me. Thank you again, and may God bless you. Stay safe. See you in our synchronous activity later on. And by the way, if you have any questions or if there is something that you do not understand during my discussion, please email me through my official UC account. I will not entertain any private message through Messenger. Huwag po tayong maging informal. Let us be formal because we are in an online discussion or in online learning modality. So thank you again, and keep safe.
So welcome ladies and gentlemen to the first video that is recorded for the subject LED 1, which is Law Enforcement Organization and Administration, Interagency Approach. So in this subject, we are going to talk about the different law enforcement organizations, like you have the Bureau of Jail Management and Penology, we have the Bureau of Fire and Protection, we have our own Philippine National Police, and also the different departments wherein these different law enforcement agencies are under, like you have the DILG, which is the Department of Interior and Local Government. We have also the Department of Justice, wherein we have there the NBI, National Bureau of Investigation. We also have the Bureau of Corrections under the Department of Justice. So that will be the focus of our discussion in this subject. Okay? So to start with our lesson, we have the chapter 1, which is the introduction of law enforcement administration. So in here, we're going to take a look at the term police. So in here, police was derived from the term politeia. So politeia means So, okay. So we have the term police. So the term police derived from the Greek term politeia. So politeia means a government or administration of a state or a polis. So polis means a city. So that is the definition of the Greek in the term police. So when the Romans used the term police, they changed politeia from politia, and then when the French used the term police, they used it or they changed it to the term that we are using now, which is police. Okay? So it refers to a person who enforces the law that is being given by the government. Yan po ang ibig sabihin ng police. But in other countries or in other definition, they refer to police officer as an organization. So in our country, we can also say that police refers to an organization, which is, it refers to the Philippine National Police as an organization. Kasi that is a generic term. Pwedeng tao, pwedeng organization. Yan. So in England naman, they use the term cop to refer to police, which means anong ibig sabihin ng cop? It is to catch or to seize. Yan po ang ibig sabihin ng cop doon sa England, which now refers to a police officer. Okay. So sabi ko nga kanina, in other definition, police can also refer to an organization like the Philippine National Police, which is composed of many police officers or policemen. So they are considered as a body of armed men that is capable of exercising its duties by armed physical forces in the preservation and detection of crime and the execution of law. So pag sinabi po nating police, it refers to a person who is charged with the enforcement of law. Okay? And it can also refer to an organization as a whole. Ayan. So, moving on, we are now going to take a look at the different uh, characteristics that the police officer should have as a leader. So, first one is the allegiance, or I mean the loyalty. So, loyalty pertains to the allegiance to the organization. So, as a police officer, you should be loyal to the Philippine National Police here in the Philippines. Okay, of course, ibig sabihin, hindi mo dapat pinagtataksilan yung organization. Okay? Na kung saan yan ay itinuturo naman doon sa loob ng training center. Wherein you should not be a squealer. Yan, kapag kayo ay mag-undergo ng inyong ROTC. Yan, sasabihin nila, oh, squealer, squealer. Yan, malalaman nyo kung ano ba yung mga terms na yun. Okay, so pag sinabi po nating loyalty, it should be allegiance to the organization. Parang sa atin, here in the Philippines, as a normal Filipino citizen, our allegiance or our loyalty should be to the flag of the Philippines. Ayan. Okay, same to as a police officer. So next, positive thinking. So a police officer should think on a solution rather on the problem. So basically in here, you're going to look for other ways and means on how you're going to solve the problem. Hindi yung problema mismo ang iniisip mo. Kasi if you're going to focus on the problem, wala tayong matatapos ngayon. Okay, as a police officer, okay, nga ikaw ngayon ang nakikita ng community, you should be focused on looking for solutions that will now help the problem of the community. Okay, rather than focusing on the problem of the community itself. Yan. Next, you have the genuine interest. So, genuine interest pertains to being approachable as a police officer. Okay. Pag sinabi po kasi natin genuine interest, yan yung pag-uugali mo, nung madaling kang lapitan. Okay. Genuine interest can also refer to your way on how you look at the community. Kung ikaw ba ay nagsaserve genuinely or you're just going to serve the community because it is your job. Okay? Kasi pag sinabi po natin genuine interest, you can show there that you care. You show that you care for the community, you listen to the community, okay? You serve the community and the like. Okay? Kasi pag wala kang genuine interest, you're just doing it for your job, you're just doing it for your salary, then it is meaningless or useless. Okay? Ang mangyayari dyan ngayon, hindi ka ngayon i-approach ng mga community or the members of the community. And sabi natin, in the old saying, that the community is the police and the police is the community. So basically, in that certain statement, the community knows everything that is happening in the community. So basically, if there is no cooperation of the community to the police officer, or if they are not going to approach the police officer if there is a crime that had happened, then the police officer cannot do anything. Okay? Ayan. Next, you also have initiative, or the doing something or doing things without any person looking at you. Nagkukusa kang gumawa ng bagay. O for example, pagtulong sa mga matatanda to cross the pedestrian lane. Pagbuhat ng mga mabibigat na bagay na hindi kayang buhatin ng mga ng mga babae. Hindi kaya nakita mo nahihirapan yung isang babae na nagbubuhat ng mabigat. Okay? So, as a police officer, you should have the spirit of initiativeness. Okay? Na nagkukusa ka mismong nag-o-offer ng tulong na hindi ka pa tinatawagan. Okay? Kasi most of the time ngayon, dahil nga wala kang genuine interest, you're just doing your job for the salary, hindi ka ngayon nagkukusa or wala kang initiativeness. Okay? Kasi nga, you don't have your genuine interest. Kung may genuine interest ka kasi, this letter D, initiativeness, is going to manifest by itself. Okay? Kusang lalabas yan kung meron kang genuine interest to the community. Yan. Okay, next, let us now go to letter E. You have humbleness. So this is a trait of a leader wherein it makes people more comfortable in your presence, which is very true. If you are humble enough in the eyes of the community, you are already approachable. Okay? The community will like you. The community will come to you to seek your help. And as a police officer, I repeat again, the community is the police and the police is the community. The community knows everything that is happening in the community. Crime, they know who the criminals are, and if they are not going to approach the police officer because he is not humble or mayabang or mahangin. Okay? But I'm not referring to anything, not to bash the um, members of the PNP. No? But there are cases kasi na ganito, na kung saan minsan kapag nagkaroon ka na kasi ng uniforme, nagkaroon ka na ng sukbit na baril, nawawala na yung pagiging humble. But I'm not saying lahat. No? There are some cases, especially now, no? Especially this year 2021, there are many things. There are the case of Nuesca. Yan. The case of Nuesca is an example of a police officer that doesn't have the humbleness or humility to say sorry. Yan. So much with that is humbleness. Okay? So I hope that you are following what I'm saying. Next, you have the unobtrusive aggressiveness. So this pertains to the drive of person to serve. So I believe that you already have a friend who is very eager, who is very aggressive to learn. No? Na kung saan minsan nagiging toxic na siya dun sa mga kaklase niya. Yan. So as a police officer, yes, you should show that you want to serve the community, but not to the extent that you are going to be a toxic to your fellow co-workers. Okay? To the community itself, to the victim, to the offended party. Yan. That is the unobtrusive aggressiveness. You are eager to help. You are eager to serve. But your eagerness doesn't affect or doesn't irritate the people that is surrounding you. Yan. Okay? And lastly, we have the friendly personality. So in here, you should be a community person, which means that the community likes you. Okay? And if the community likes you, good things will follow. So pwedeng si community mismo ang magsasabi na, i-retain nyo yung COP kasi mabait yan. Okay? Hindi kaya, i-retain nyo si patrolman dito sa post na to kasi mabait siya. He is humble. He has the spirit of initiativeness. He has the spirit of being initiative and the like. Okay? So if the community likes you, good things will follow as a police officer. Okay? They will help you in times that you are in trouble. Okay? Tutulungan ka nila sa mga simpleng bagay. Ayan. So those are the different characteristics that a police officer should have as a leader in the community, to be able for him to help the community and for the community to help him back. Okay? Ayan. Next, let us now go to the factors affecting police service. So in here, in the factors affecting police service, we have four. So you have the educational attainment, training, salary, and you have the last recourse of job hunter. So first and foremost, in the educational attainment, uh, I want to put a disclaimer in here. I'm not against. I'm not against to any courses that is entering in the Philippine National Police. I'm not bashing anyone. No. So in educational attainment, it pertains to the lack of learning years. Okay, so if you're going to observe in the status quo or in reality, there are different courses that is not aligned with the PNP profession. So pwede mo pang sabihin nurse, yan pwede yan, nurse. Doctor kasi pupunta sila sa health services. Chaplain, yung mga pastor, o yung mga father, pwede pa yan kasi they have the chaplain services. But if you're going to put there a course that is not related to the function of the PNP, medyo mahihirapan siya in the adaptation, okay, of the adaptation of the things that should be learned in the PNP. Kasi at least yung mga doctor, yung mga criminologists, forensic science, they have a background on what is the job, no? So kapag ilagay mo ngayon doon isang course na hindi related doon sa PNP, for example, let's compare education, educ, and a graduate of criminology. So if you're going to compare, they are both 4-year course, tama? But pag pupunta sila ngayon sa PNP, who is more knowledgeable in the field or in the profession? Of course, it is the person who graduated in criminology. Very obvious. Okay? So if you're going to take a look at reality, there are really different courses that is entering the PNP which is not aligned with the profession that they choose. Okay? Kaya ngayon lalabas dyan yung letter D. It is the last recourse of job hunter. Bakit? Kasi hindi sila ngayon nakapasok dun sa gusto nilang profession. Hindi sila naging teacher, hindi sila naging doctor, hindi sila naging nurse, hindi sila naging social worker. Okay? Hindi sila naging restaurant owner, HRM, o hindi sila naging bartender. Okay? Ayan. Kaya ngayon nagiging last recourse of job hunter because the PNP caters any 4-year course. A graduate of a baccalaureate degree. Hindi naman sinabi doon na a graduate of criminology, a graduate of forensic science in the law. Okay? It does not mention there a graduate of doctorate, a master's degree ang pwedeng mag-apply. Okay? So anyone can apply for the Philippine National Police. Anyone can be a police officer. Okay? But of course, there is a screening. May proseso po yung sinusunod. Okay? So next, you also have the training, lack of training. So in the lack of training, it also pertains to the different skills that the person possess. For example, again, I repeat, in the baccalaureate degree, criminology. Tapos dito sa isang course, educ. Okay. So, in the training area, in the training factor, sino ngayon ang mas may alam dun sa training or may mas knowledge doon sa profession o dito ba sa criminology or yung graduate ng educ? So of course, it will be the person who graduated in criminology. Why? Because they have forensic photography. They learn the skills in forensic photography, question document examination. They also have the fingerprinting or dactyloscopy, forensic dactyloscopy, forensic ballistics and the like. And kung saan ngayon, that knowledge or that training that was gained in the baccalaureate degree will now be reinforced if papasok siya ngayon doon sa service or doon sa uniform service. Ayan. Okay. And lastly, you have the salary. So sa salary naman, in the current year, you have 2021, di ba tinaas na ngayon ni President Duterte yung salary ng mga police officer. But the question there is that bakit pa rin meron mga police officer that is being involved in corruption? Okay? Because the factor there is not actually the salary. It is the greediness, or they are not satisfied of what they have. Kaya nga nakikita nyo ngayon yung mga umuuso na P10, X10XM na mga system na yan wherein police officers are being recruited. Okay? So kahit na sabihin mo ang laki na ng sahod nila, okay, it is not actually the salary, okay, that is affecting the police service, but it is the satisfaction of the person. So pag hindi ka pa satisfied dun sa salary mo, then of course, you want more because of your greediness, maghahanap ka ngayon ng pwede mo pang pagkakitaan na kung saan ngayon minsan pwedeng legal, pwedeng illegal. Okay? Na napupunta ngayon sa corruption. Okay, so those are the factors that affects the police service. So I hope na wala po akong pinapatamaan dito, wala po akong dinidiscriminate. I'm just stating on my own view kung ano ba nakikita ko. Of course, as an educator. Ayan. So, moving on, let us now go to the fundamental theories of police service. So in here we have two fundamental theories, which is the first one is the continental theory, wherein it says here, or it states in continental theory, that police are considered as servants of the higher authorities. So basically, ang mga pagsisilbihan lang nila, the president, the vice president, the senators, the mayors, the congressman. Yan po yung mga tinatawag nating higher authorities according to continental theory, wherein the people, okay, the community, or the people in the community doesn't have any share, or wala silang walang pakialam ang police doon sa community. Ang mas fino-focus nila is the higher authorities. Okay? According to continental theory. Na kung saan ngayon naman kinokontra ni Home Rule theory, wherein si Home Rule, it states here that policemen are servants of the community. So ibig sabihin, si police officer will give services to the community. Yan, tulad na lang sa picture, nakikita nyo. Mga feeding program, yung mga ginagawang programa ng mga police officer wherein they're going to give supplies. Especially kapag may mga sakuna. Okay? Ayan. So, Home Rule and Continental. Continental focus on higher authorities, or police is the servant of higher authorities, president, mayor, congressman, vice president, judge, and the like. Pag si Home Rule naman, it is the community. The police is a servant of the community, wherein they are going to provide services for the community, not to the higher ranking officials. Yan. Okay? So next, let's now go to the concepts of police service. So in the concepts of police service, we have two again, of course. You have the old concept and the modern concept. So in the old concept, it says here that punishment is the sole instrument of crime control, and yardstick of police efficiency is more on arrest. So basically, in old concept, sinasabi po dito, yardstick of police efficiency is more on arrest. Ibig sabihin, the more you arrest, the more you put people into prison, okay, the more the police organization is effective, no? Yan. Mas marami kang hinuhuli, mas marami kang pinapakulong, ibig sabihin, effective yung police organization mo. But kinokontra naman yun ni modern concept, na kung saan sinasabi ni modern concept that the yardstick of police efficiency is absence of crime. So how are you going to get the absence of crime? You have the crime prevention programs. You have proactive programs. You have patrol and the like. Okay? So, magkasalungat po sila ni old concept. Old concept, aresto ka na lang ng aresto. You arrest, arrest, arrest. Equals police is efficient. While si modern concept, if there is zero crime rate in the community, it is equivalent to police efficiency. Yan. So, I hope you get the difference of the two concept. So theories, you have the continental, and we have the continental, and we have the home rule theory. In concept, we have the old and we have the modern. Where in the old, more on arrest. Okay? Si modern naman, it is the absence of crime, zero crime rate in the community. Okay? Ayan. So, now let us move on to the evolution of policing. So, in here, we are now going to take a look at how policing evolved in our country or in our world. Kasi yan, nagsimula po yan sa mga part ng England, nagsimula po yan in the European countries bago pumunta sa ating bansa. Okay? So, first era, in the Anglo-Saxon, you have 600 to 1066 after that or AD. So, first system is you have the Tan policing system, wherein in here, sabi po dyan, all male residents are required to guard the town. So, in Tan policing system, lahat po ng lalaki, okay? Lahat po ng lalaki, maski yan ay bata, yan ay matanda, they are responsible in preserving the peace and order in the community, in protecting life and properties of the people in the community. Okay? Si lalaki, 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 lalaki. Yan. That is in the TAN policing system, which now becomes the the system, okay, in the ancient times. Nung saan kasi yung TAN, pag sinabi po nating TAN, in other terms, they refer it to town. Okay? Town wherein, ang town kasi, di ba, maliit lang in that time. So, it is manageable. So, kaya po yang i-handle ng mga lalaki. Okay? Next, we have, yan, that is the town policing system. We have the hue and cry. So, in hue and cry, it says here, using their voice or a horn. So, in hue and cry po kasi, if a person, okay, if a crime has been committed, the person is going to go in the middle of the street or in the middle of the crowd. Tapos sisigaw yan, oh, tulong! Yan. So, or hindi kaya gagamit siya ng horn. Na kung saan, pag narinig ngayon ng mga tao yan, the shout of the person or the horn, they are mandated by the law to stop everything that they are doing and they are going to participate in the apprehension of the criminal. So, Zero, what if the person did not stop what he is doing? What will happen? According to hue and cry, if the person did not stop and help and did not help in the apprehension of the criminal, he will be considered as an accomplice of the person who committed the crime because he let him pass or he let him or he helped him escape by not helping in the pursuit. Yan ang ating hue and cry. So again, your key term here is using their voice or a horn. And a horn is considered as the oldest warning device. Yan. Next, we have the trial by ordeal. So in trial by ordeal, it says here, suspects are subjected to a physical trial. So for example, in the picture, as you can see, you have the breaking in the wheel, okay, burning at the stake, you have the guillotine and the like. So how does this trial by ordeal work? So if you're going to commit a crime, for example, let us say you've stole something. Okay? So in trial by ordeal, you're going to go under a physical trial. So maybe if they're going to say, put your hand in a boiling pot of water. If your hand did not suffer any burn from the boiling water, you are innocent. But if your hand sustained burns in the boiling water, then you are guilty. So what is the rationale of that? What is the rationale of trial by ordeal? Sabi kasi nila, if you are not hurt after the physical trial, it means that God protected you or there is a divine power that protected you because you are not guilty. Okay? Pag ikaw naman yung taong nagnakaw talaga, if you are the person who is guilty, God will not give you protection. Okay? Which will now determine that you are guilty of the crime that you have committed. Ayan. So that is the trial by ordeal. And lastly, you have the royal judge. So royal judge is the person that is, royal judge is a person that is tasked with giving or he is responsible for doing trial, He is responsible also for punishment of a person who has been found as guilty. Okay? And that is royal judge. So take note of the three system and the one person. No, you have the town policing system. All male residents are required to protect the town. Okay? Maintain peace and order. Okay? Preserve life. Protect the life and property of the community. Next, hue and cry, wherein the person is going to shout in the middle of the street or in the middle of a crowd. And every person is mandated to pursue the criminal who committed the crime. Trial by ordeal, you're going to be subjected in a physical trial, wherein if you did not suffer any damages from that physical trial, you're not guilty. And if you suffer any burns or damages or injury from the physical trial, you are considered as guilty. And royal judge, the person who is tasked in giving punishment, decision, and trial to the person who committed the crime. That is in the Anglo-Saxon period. Okay? So moving on, let's now go to the Norman period. So in the Norman period, we have the first system that they have used. You have the Shire Reeve. So in Shire Reeve, this has been used in England, wherein King William Norman divided England into 55 district or military district, which is the Shire. Okay? Yan, take note William Norman. William Norman is the person who divided England into 55 shire or district. Next, si Shire Reeve naman pertains to the person who rules or who make law, pass judgment, and impose punishment in that certain district. Okay, so ibig sabihin, Shire, that is the district. Si Shire Reeve, siya ang taong he is the ruler of that certain shire. So ibig sabihin, 55 district or 55 shire, we also have 55 shire reeve. Na kung saan ngayon, this shire reeve system is the origin of the word sheriff. Okay? In other countries, sheriff. Kasi nakikita nyo, they are only focused. In the United States kasi it is a federal state. In each federal country, they have different they have different places in their respective federal country. Kung saan ngayon, kapag ikaw ay nasa far-flung area, ang tawag nila ngayon sa mga pulis doon is sheriff. O yung pinaka-head doon is sheriff. Kung saan, itong sheriff na to, ang ang pinaniniwalaan nilang nagsimula ng term na sheriff. Okay, so I hope that you get the point, no? Ayan, that is the shire reeve system. Next, traveling judge, he is the person who is held responsible in passing judgment that was taken from the shire reeve in the view of some abuses. So, ibig sabihin ngayon, kapag si shire reeve, yung ruler, ay nakapaghuli siya ngayon ng mga kriminal, nakapanghuli siya ng mga person who violated the law that he created. Ang mangyayari ngayon, he is going to pass those offenders to the traveling judge. Or si traveling judge mismo ang pupunta doon sa shire na kung saan andun si shire reeve. Wherein si traveling judge ang magbibigay ngayon ng judgment, ng decision on what they are going to do in that certain person. And si shire reeve will only carry the decision of the traveling judge. So, pag sinabi ni traveling judge, kill, di patayin. Pero pag sinabing innocent, then the shire reeve cannot do anything. Okay? Yan. Next, we have the Magna Carta Law. So, in the Magna Carta Law, sabi po dito, may mga, there are four rules that they are following in Magna Carta. Okay, so if you're going to follow your notes, sabi po doon, number 1, no freeman shall be taken or imprisoned, disposed or outlawed except by his legal peers. Ibig sabihin, walang taong maikukulong unless with the testimony or the testifying of the person or his legal peers. Sino ba yung mga legal peers nila? Yan, parents, yung mga barkada. You also have father, mother, and the like. Next, number 2, No person should be tried for murder unless there is a proof of the body of the victim, which is very common. Alangan naman na paparatangan mo ngayon yung taong pumatay ng tao na wala ka namang nakikitang patay na katawan. Okay? Same in accusing a person that he stole something. He stole an apple without even having in his possession an apple. Okay, that is number 2 rule in Magna Carta. Next, beginning of national and local government as well as national and local legislation. So, Magna Carta started yung tinatawag po nating national and local government. Wherein, here in the Philippines, if you are going to take a look at our national government is situated in the National Capital Region. Sa local naman, we have our barangay, we have our governor, congressman, mayors, and the like. No? Si Magna Carta po ang nagpasimula ng national and local government. Okay? Ayan. Next, you also have our Legis Henry. So si Legis Henry, there are also different set of rules wherein they are going to follow this in the Norman period. So ano ba yung 1, 2, 3, 4 na yun? First one, offense were classified as against the king and the individual. Why against the king? Because at the time, it is King Henry. No? Si King Henry po ang nag-rule doon sa England. Okay? So ngayon, because the king owns the country, okay, yung offense na ginawa mo kahit yan ay sa ibang tao will also be against the king because tao niya yun eh. Okay? Ayan, that is the rationale there. Number 2, police became public officials. So basically, in the time of King Henry, police are considered as a private individual or they are a private institution. A private person. Okay? Ayan. Na kung saan pwede silang magbigay ng services to certain people. Unlike noong naging public official na sila, they are expected to provide services to the public or to the populace. Ayan. Number 3, police and citizens have the broad power of arrest wherein dito na po nagsimula yung tinatawag po nating warrant of arrest and warrantless arrest. Ayan. If you're going to trace back in your CGS, Criminal Justice System, pag sinabi po nating warrantless arrest, this is the citizen's arrest. Na kung saan may mga factors po dyan. Okay? First one is that in flagrante delicto, if you have witness that the person is going to commit, has committed, and is about to commit a crime. Next, if the person is a escapee of a prisoner, yan, pwede mong hulihin yan, and the others, and the like. No, yan, you remember those. Okay? To. So, warrantless arrest naman, so warrant of arrest naman, of course, issuing of a warrant, okay, for them or for the police officers to arrest the person that is mentioned in the warrant of arrest. Okay? And lastly, grand jury was created to inquire on facts of law. When we say grand jury, it is composed of three person who is going to validate, okay, validate the law in the time of King Henry kasi may mga discrepancies eh. Kaya sinabi doon na they were created, okay, in order for them to inquire on the facts of the law. Ano ba talaga yung totoo doon sa batas? Ano ba yung mga kailangan nilang malaman doon sa batas? Ano ba yung mga loophole doon sa batas? Okay? Yan. That is our Norman period. Next, let's now go to the Westminster period. So in the Westminster period, we have the Statute of 1295, you have the Justice of Peace, and you have the Star Chamber Court. So in Statute of 1295, it only started, or the most important thing there to remember is that this Statute of 1295 started the curfew hours. Curfew hours. So, dyan po nagsimula ang bawal ng lumabas ng alas 6, alas 5, alas 4 ng hapon. Ganon. Okay? In the Justice of Peace, this is a position that is given to a person, okay, wherein he has the power of arrest, pursue, and impose punishment. So, ibig sabihin, sino kaya, sir, yung mga pwedeng mabigyan ng position na Justice of Peace? Okay? It depends. It depends kung sino ang mabibigyan. Pwedeng bata, pwedeng babae, pwedeng lalaki, pwedeng matanda. Okay? As long as you have that Justice of Peace position, you can arrest anyone. You can pursue and impose punishment to anyone. Okay? But of course, to anyone who committed a crime. Okay? But that is very common. Okay? And number 3, you have the Star Chamber Court, wherein this is considered as a special court which tried offenders against the state. So, dyan na po nagsimula ang paggamit din ng korte. Kasi di ba dati we have the grand jury. Okay? Ngayon, in the Westminster period, they have the Star Chamber Court. Okay? Wherein in this Star Chamber Court, they are going to try the offenders against the state. Okay? Yan. So, next, we have the merchant police, you have the Bow Street Runner, and the Charlie. So in here, in the merchant police, from the term itself, merchant, okay, mercenary, they are men for hire. Okay. So ibig sabihin, kapag gusto mo ngayong mag-travel together with your goods, kasi ito ay being availed by the businessman. Merchant police. So kapag ngayon, yung businessman, for example me, I want to travel my goods to other countries. Mag-hire ako ngayon ng mga merchant police in order for them to to protect my goods from bandits, from pirates, and the like. Okay? Ayan. Most commonly, ang mga nag-a-avail dito is mga merchant or yung mga business owners. Okay? Next, we also have the Bow Street Runner. So, Bow Street Runner was created by Henry Fielding. Okay, so Henry Fielding is the founder of our Bow Street Runner. Na kung saan si Bow Street Runner are considered as the first professionalized police force that is organized by Henry Fielding in London in 1749. Ayan. Okay. So they are also considered, or they were named as thief takers. Why thief takers? Because they are tasked with arresting these thieves, or yung mga hinuhuli nila commonly is yung mga magnanakaw. Kaya tinawag silang thief takers. Okay, number 3, the Charlie, wherein this Charlie is named after King Charles. Kung saan, ano ba yung ginagawa ni Charlie? Ano ba yung mga trabaho ni Charlie? Okay, they are considered as a night watchman or bellman, okay, who is going to be on duty from sunset to sunrise. Ano ba yung ginagawa nila? Okay? Ano ba yung mga trabaho ng night watch bellmen? Sila po ay nagpapatrol, sila ay nagbabantay sa gabi. Kung merong mangyayaring crime, ay ang mangyayari dyan kapag naka-witness ngayon si Charlie or the Charlie ng isang crime or a commission of a crime, ang mangyayari dyan is they are not going to stop but they are going to run. Okay? Bakit sila tatakbo? Because these Charlies are old and decrepit. Ibig sabihin, hindi po sila gaano kalakas or hindi sila masyado kalakasan. So, hindi nila kayang stop ang commission of a crime if they have witnessed a commission of a crime. So, instead of stopping that person from committing the crime, they are going to run and report it to the higher officials. Now, saan ngayon si higher officials, they are the one who is going to do the actual arresting. Okay? So, si Charlie ngayon, ang talagang gawain niya lang is a night watch bellman. Night watch or a bellman, tagabantay. Okay? From sunset to sunrise. Kapag may nangyaring crime, he's going to report, run. Okay? He's not going to stop. Kasi hindi sila malakas, mga matatanda kasi itong mga to, the Charlie. Okay? Ayan. So, that is our merchant, military police, and you have the Bow Street Runners. Okay. Next, we have the modern policing system. So, in the modern policing system, we already have the Scotland Yard. Yan. So, nabuo na po yung ating Scotland Yard. For in Scotland Yard, it is considered as the first official created law enforcement body or police organization in England, of course, wherein it is sponsored by Sir Robert Peels. So si Sir Robert Peels ngayon, he was also regarded because he created the Scotland Yard. He is now regarded as the father of modern policing system. Okay? And after that, he also formed the Metropolitan Police, which is also known as the New Police. Okay? So that is the contribution of Sir Robert Peels in the evolution of policing. Na kung saan, ito ngayon, itong Scotland Yard is still existing. Okay? Still existing pa rin itong Scotland Yard in England, and they are considered as the best, okay? One of the best police organization. Why? Because they are the first or the pioneering country or pioneering organization who created or who used policing, okay, in the ancient times. Yan. So, there I think we're going to stop there in the evolution of policing, and I'll see you again in the part 2 of our first lesson. Okay? So I hope that you enjoy and learn from this video, and I'll see you again in the part 2 of our first video.
Ridges. Okay. The next topic is the ridges. These are tiny elevations on the skin. Okay. So it is tiny, meaning to say we cannot see. Our eyes cannot see these sizes. So meaning to say we can be able to see this with the use of microscope or some special apparatus capable of enlarging small things. Okay, these are found on the skin, of course, specifically in the palmar surface and the soles of the feet. Okay, these are likewise hill-like structures. Okay, it is the hill-like structures. It looks like mountains, small mountains found on the skin or on our ridges. Okay, of course, this is found on the epidermis layer of the skin. Now, remember there are generally two layers of the skin that we have that we are to remember. This is the epidermis and the dermis layer. Okay, um, on the skin containing the sweat pores. So these are our ridges. Okay. So another question here is that uh, this appears as black lines on the fingerprint affixed on a card. So is it the furrows, or the ridges, or the creases, or the valleys? Okay, the answer here are the ridges. Of course, when we try to print the raised portion or the raised part, the elevated part doon sa ating skin, no, yung mga nakaangat dito, if we try to put prints or ink here, of course, and then transfer it on a paper, on a clean or a piece of paper, then these elevated portions, since they are the one who absorb, no, sila sa kanila dumikit yung ink, then pag nilipat mo yan sa papel, siya yung magkukulay itim. Okay? Sa ating fingerprint card. Of course, yung puti doon are the furrows. Okay? The creases are the divisions of our hands or the divisions of our ridges. So on our hand, okay, may mga hati yan, no? Yan as uh, the lines here that you can see, if we try to print this one, these are white lines that appears on the fingerprint card. Okay, so there will be two white lines that we can see uh, on a fingerprint card. Okay, which is the furrows and then the creases. Okay, the distinguishing marks, ang pagkakaiba lang ng dalawa is that yung furrows, of course, are straights. Okay, it follows the ridges. On the creases, these are irregular lines. Okay, this is because of crippled hand, or pag naglalaba lagi yung hand na yung kamay na yan, is that uh, makukulubot siya. So pag nagprint tayo, makikita mo yung mga kulubot na parts doon. Okay? On the picture, you can see here that the black lines again are the friction ridges. Okay? And the white lines here are the valleys or the furrows. Okay? Let us discuss the skin first. Our skin is 95% of the body, or 95% of the body skin is smooth. Okay? And relatively featureless. As you can see, doon sa ating skin, or our skin, it says there featureless. Meaning to say, wala kayong makita. Aside from the hairs, aside from the pores, yung butas dyan, or aside from the creases. No? The remaining 5% of our body, okay, covering the palms and hands or in soles of the feet, is marked differently. Okay? So, what are these markings? Why are they marked differently? These are the ridges that you can see there. Okay? So, imagine of the 95% of our body, it has no features aside from the hairs, pores, and creases. Tapos yung 5% dyan na makikita natin sa ating kamay at paa, doon lang natin makikita yung ating distinguishing marks o yung ating ridges. Okay? Now, before we proceed, let us discuss the two layers of our skin. Okay? This is the epidermis and the other one is dermis. Now, when we speak of the epidermis, it is our outer protective coat, or other books will say this is the outer layer of the skin. This is the skin that we can see visibly seen by our eyes. Okay, this part, if you can visualize my video, is that makikita mo dyan, dito mismo yan, that is the epidermis. Okay, and the inner portion of that, okay, which is the inner layer, as they say, inner layer of the skin is the dermis. So it is on the dermis part where we can see the nerves, where we can see the ducts, where we can see the glands. So doon siya sa loob, no? Point here is that dermis is the outer layer and then the epidermis is the inner layer of the skin. Now, we need to discuss this because, of course, it is on the epidermis layer. Sa epidermis layer natin nakikita ang ating fingerprints, no? Alright, distinguishing again the ridges and furrows is to illustrate this one. The difference between the two is that we have the roof here, okay, or a roof, like cut section of a roof here. So the valleys or the mountain-like structures here are considered the ridges, okay, the papillary ridges, as we have mentioned, and then the canal-like structure here, or the canal here, are what you call as the furrows or furrows. All right. Okay. So moving back, okay, to our largest organ, which is the skin. The skin is 15 to 20% of our body weight. Meaning to say, kung 100 ang bigat mo, edi 20 kilos to 15 kilos yung skin na yan, no? So makikita natin na pinakamalaking organ na pwede natin makita on the different organs, from the different organs that we have. Okay. This is the crease that I am trying to mention. These are the divisions, no, of our hands, or the ridges. It divides. It looks like a puckering, no? Puckers. Parang putol na mga ridges na yan. But this is different from your furrows, because furrows goes along with your ridges, and these creases are the white lines that you can see here. But of course, when it comes to size, these are bigger. Okay. Going back to our skin again, like we have mentioned a while ago, that we have the epidermis and dermis layer of the skin. Okay. And if we go through another part of our skin, or yes, the skin, we have the hypodermis. Okay. As shown on the picture, you can see here that on the epidermis, it is here where you can see the skin. Okay. And on the skin, it is where the hairs, the pores are visible. And on the part of the dermis, dito sa dermis naman natin, dito makikita nyo yung nerves, small nerves. Okay? No? Yan, you have the nerves here. You have the ducts. Okay, the passageway. Okay, you have the passageway of this sweat. Okay? And on here, you can see the sweat glands. Okay? The sweat glands, kung saan nandun yung mga pawis nyo. And then on the hypodermis, it is here where we can see the roots of the hair. The veins, larger veins. Okay? And then of course the fats. Okay? Again, just like we have mentioned, the epidermis is also known as the outer layer of the skin. Okay? So giving you the specifics of the dermis, epidermis, and the subcutaneous tissue or the hypodermis, just like what I have mentioned again, epidermis contains the hair shaft, the pores of the hand, okay, the skin surface, of course, dito natin makikita yan. And dito sa ating dermis, na ang isang tawag dyan, of course, is the true skin, is that we have your capillaries. You have there the muscles, the sweat glands that I have mentioned. Okay? And on the subcutaneous layer or the hypodermis layer, okay, you have the larger big veins here, or large veins there. Okay? So, moving on, our skin contains pores, no? Our skin contains pores, and of course these pores or this opening, okay, for the ducts from the, these are openings from the for the ducts from the sweat glands. So mangyayari diyan pag pinapawisan ng isang tao, papalabas tayo ng pawis doon sa surface of the skin. Magpapalabas ito ng nutrients coming from our body in a form of sweats, no? And then if these sweats or if these nutrients will be in contact with your dirts, or in contact with surfaces that contains ink, maybe it will absorb, of course, or it will yes, it will absorb or didikit siya, okay? And if we try to hold another thing, it will transfer this what you call as the nutrients will be transferred in a form of ridges sa pamamaraan o sa pamamagitan ng mga ridges. Yan ang tinatawag nating latent fingerprints. Doon sa ating unang mga topic, pag sinabi nating latent fingerprints, of course, these are fingerprints that can be found on the crime scene. Okay, these are fingerprints that may easily be removed or erased because these are not yet developed. Okay, these are the fingerprints that are not yet developed. Okay, so in summary, okay, class or gentlemen, ladies, in summary, the outer layer is the epidermis and the inner layer is the dermis. Likewise, the innermost layer is the hypodermis. Okay. So, what's the importance, or why do we know, or why do we need to discuss the this layer of the skin, or this two layer of the skin? It is because the damage to the epidermis alone does not result to permanent ridge destruction, while damage to the dermis results to permanent ridge destruction. Diba? Sabi natin kanina that epidermis is the outer layer. Pag ito ay nasugat, okay, hindi siya maglalagay o hindi magbabago ang ating ridge details or ridge formation. Ngayon, pagka umabot sa dermis pala ang ating sugat, o pag sinugatan natin daliri natin at umabot hanggang sa dermis, nagkakaroon kayo ng permanent ridge destruction. Dito tayo nagkakaroon ng ridge destruction na magiging permanent. Nandyan na yan. We cannot change it already because the ridges, or hindi naman siya mapapalitan as a whole yung ating fingerprint, but it might change some of the little of the fingerprint patterns. Okay, so that is on the layer of your skin.